Good afternoon, everybody. It's almost the end of the day. One of the last topics is venture capital in the Web3 ecosystem. I'm very happy to be here, to be part of this first edition of the SBL Capital Days. I'm in front of you to provide you with an overview about the relationship between the VC community and the Web3 entrepreneurs. And I'm going to try to give you a feeling about how the fund industry may have a very positive impact on the Web3 community over the next years. Let's have a look at the most favorite emerging technologies as per the venture capitalists. As you can see, Web3 and DeFi technologies are part of the top 5. 2 years ago, they were top 1. Of course, we all know that we are living quite stressed situation, but Web3 and DeFi remains very relevant for the VC community. There is many reasons for this. I will just spend few minutes on 3 of them. The first one is that, of course, Web3 remains a huge opportunity as an investment. The only difference, if we compare the situation of today with the situation of like 2 years ago, is that now things are going more slowly. It's the case for the fundraising. It takes more time for VC to raise the funds. It takes also more time to make the investment decisions. It means that now VCs take more time to do their due diligence, assess the viability and the scalability of the business models. They compare Web3 projects from one to the other. And this is the reason why we observed over the last quarter a strong decrease in terms of number of deals. That's true. But there are still opportunities. The second reason why Web3 remain relevant is that now the market is convinced that Web3 has the power to reshape some traditional industries. It is the case for the payment services, for example, retail banking, wealth management services. And in this context, VCs assess on a regular basis the disruption risks and the opportunities of Web3 within their traditional portfolio companies. And the last reason is that internally, Web3 give opportunity to the fund industry to review the way they operate in terms of operation, in terms of strategy. As an example, tokenization provides new way of executing your investment strategy. It provides new value proposition for investors. And of course, Web3 is a very good way to automate some of your operations, having a positive impact on your administration costs. Let's have a very quick view on the landscape of venture capital firms. You have here a sample of venture capital firms. What we can see is that on one side we have VCs that are native from the Web3 ecosystem, and on the other side we have more and more VCs that are coming from the traditional world of finance. And even if the current situation is quite complex, there is still opportunities and there is still good news. If we have a look on the very recent news that occurred during the summer, we observe that some VCs made achievements in terms of fundraising. It was the case of Blockchain Capital, for example, Ledger KT as well. And we also note another positive sign is that some public institutions like BPI France, they are also supporting this ecosystem, which is also a good news for this. Now let's have a look on the main figures of the funding received by the Web3 companies over the last 7-8 years. I think that these figures are self-explanatory. What we can say is that the track record is not bad at all, and this ecosystem of Web3 is here to stay. Huh? If we have a look on the subsegment, what we can observe very easily is that half of the total funding received by Web3 companies is dedicated to financial market infrastructure. It includes centralized and decentralized exchange. It includes custody solution, wallet services. So it's quite big. And if we talk about the unicorns, we know that now unicorns covered several industries, including trading, infrastructure, gaming, data analytics. So it covers a lot of industries. Now the big question is what next? At 6M, we strongly believe that at the level of the EU, the market of crypto fund is still emerging, and there is a lot of progress to do. If we see the market as it is as of today, a large majority of existing funds in the EU are what I call light regulated, meaning that these funds have limitations in terms of fundraising capacity. They have low flexibility regarding their distribution and marketing strategies of their units. And at 6M, we intend to be one of the first alternative investment fund manager in capacity to manage crypto funds through a regulated investment vehicle. And I will provide you with an overview about what is, according to us, the best setup we can have for this purpose. So it's basically an investment fund. You can see all the different stakeholders. Of course, you have the fund promoter, which is in charge of the design of the investment strategy. You have the alternative investment fund manager, which is responsible for administration, risk management, valuation, legal and compliance, etc. In most of the case, the delegation, the alternative investment fund manager delegates the portfolio manager to a dedicated entity who is in charge of making the investment decision. And then, if we look on the asset side, we have two key stakeholders that are mandatory for regulated funds. We have on one side the depositary, who is in charge of the safekeeping, on the cash monitoring. And on the other side, for the crypto assets, you have the custodian, which is a regulated entity as well, who is responsible for the custody of the crypto asset. As a conclusion, I want to focus on the key benefits of this setup compared to the existing one in the EU. The first one, which is one of the best benefits, is that with this type of vehicle, you can benefit from the EU passport, meaning that you can distribute and market the shares of your funds everywhere in Europe, very easily. The second one is that this type of vehicle is fully compliant with the appetite of institutional investor. I refer to banks, insurance company, pension funds. Most of the time, this type of actor have a lot of money, but they will not invest unless you are compliant with this type of vehicle. A less important one, but of course in this type of structure, you have a lot of flexibilities in terms of structuring. And last but not least, considering the role of the IFM, one key element for the sponsor of the fund is that he will focus all his efforts, all his resources to his main topic, which is the raising of the fund on one side and the execution of his portfolio strategies on the other side. All the other tasks are handled by the alternative investment fund manager, which can be very efficient in some way. If you have any additional comments or questions, feel free to come to us, myself or Julie. We are here until tonight, so do not hesitate. And I'm going to leave the floor to my colleague for the last panel of the day. Thank you very much.